Hello everyone, this is the third video tutorial about anti-diabetic agents. In previous lectures, we have seen introduction and types of diabetes. In this video tutorial, we are going to discuss about insulin. We will discuss discovery, structure and biosynthesis of insulin, regulation of insulin secretion, then mechanism of action and physiological functions of insulin. So, let's start with the discovery of insulin. In previous lectures, we have already discussed that diabetes mellitus is caused either by deficiency of insulin or by irresponsiveness to insulin. In type 1 diabetes, the secretion of insulin is reduced, and in type 2 diabetes, irresponsiveness to insulin is the cause. Insulin is secreted by beta cells of islets of Langerhans of pancreas. Insulin was discovered by Banting and Best in 1921. Both of them were doing an experiment on a diabetic dog. They inject pancreatic extract to a depancreatized diabetic dog who was on the verge of coma. And after an hour of the injection, the urine sugar of dog was abolished and his blood sugar came down, and thus the insulin was discovered. This discovery was really a remarkable discovery in the medical science. In 1926, insulin was the first obtained in pure crystallized form, and insulin became first protein for which a complete amino acid sequence was established, and this sequence was established by Sanger in 1956. Structure of insulin. Insulin is the largest polypeptide hormone of which structure is known. Molecular weight of insulin is about 6000 gram per mole. In the structure of insulin, there are two chains, chain A and chain B. You can see here in the figure of insulin molecule. Chain A is also known as short chain and chain B is also known as long chain, because chain A contains 21 amino acids and chain B contains 30 amino acids. Chain A is acidic in nature and chain B is basic in nature. So, chain A has 21 amino acids and chain B has 30 amino acids. So, total there are 51 amino acids in the structure of insulin. And you can see here there are third disulfide bonds in the structure of insulin. Two disulfide bonds are there between chain A and chain B, and one disulfide bond is within the chain A. Students, you don't need to remember the sequence of amino acid, you just need to remember that chain A contains 21 amino acids and chain B contains 30 amino acids. Right? These amino acids are leucine, glycine, cysteine, serine, threonine. All these amino acids are present in the structure of insulin. Then, how insulin is biosynthesized? Biosynthesis of insulin is started by the gene for production of insulin in ribosomes of endoplasmic reticulum. Initially, insulin is synthesized as a 110 amino acid containing pre-pro hormone, which is also known as pre-pro insulin. Then, this pre-pro insulin undergoes the process of translocation in rough endoplasmic reticulum. During this translocation process, 24 amino acids are cleaved from N-terminal of beta chain. You can see here the beta chain and its N-terminal containing NH2. So, 24 amino acids are cleaved from the N-terminal of beta chain. And after this cleavage, protein folds and 3 critical disulfide bonds are formed. which are present in the structure of insulin. So after this translocation process, pre-proinsulin is converted into proinsulin. This proinsulin is then transferred from rough endoplasmic reticulum to the Golgi apparatus, where it is stored in immature granules. In Golgi apparatus, proinsulin undergoes the process of proteolysis, which is catalyzed by calcium-dependent endopeptidase. And in this process of proteolysis, 4 basic amino acids which are present at the position of 31, 32, 65 and 66, which are arginine, arginine lysine and arginine respectively, are removed, and the connector C peptide is also removed, which is 31 amino acid containing during the process of proteolysis. So after this process of proteolysis, proinsulin is converted into insulin. So we can say that pre-proinsulin is 110 amino acid containing, then 24 amino acids are removed from it, and pre-proinsulin is converted into proinsulin, which is 86 amino acid containing, and from this proinsulin 4 basic amino acids and the connector C peptide, which is 31 amino acid containing, is removed. So proinsulin is converted into insulin, which has 51 amino acids. You can see here, this is the figure of structure of proinsulin, which is 86 amino acid containing C. The B chain has 30 amino acids, A chain has 21 amino acids, and these A and B chains are connected through the connector peptide, which is 31 amino acids containing. And between this connector peptide and A chain, 2 amino acids are there, lysine and arginine, and between this connector peptide and B chain, 2 amino acids are there, arginine and arginine. So 4 of these amino acids and connector peptide is removed from this proinsulin during the process of proteolysis, and then proinsulin is converted into insulin. So here we can summarize the biosynthesis of insulin as pre-proinsulin, which is 110 amino acid containing, 24 amino acids are removed. So pre-proinsulin is converted into proinsulin, which is 86 amino acid containing. Then connector peptide and 4 basic amino acids are removed. So proinsulin is converted into insulin, which is 51 amino acid containing. The conversion of proinsulin to insulin is a slow and gradual process which continues along with maturation of the storage granules. And most of proinsulin gets converted to insulin within 4 to 5 hours, and these conversion products and starting materials get crystallized with zinc, and thereafter they may be released by the process of exocytosis. Regulation of insulin secretion. The capacity to secrete insulin of pancreas is 1 to 2 milligram per day, but during the fasting condition, this capacity is increased to 20 microgram per hour. Insulin secretion is regulated by main 3 regulation mechanisms, which are chemical regulation, hormonal regulation and neural regulation. In chemical regulation, glucose, amino acid, fatty acids, ketone bodies regulate the release of insulin. Actually, the enhanced level of glucose, amino acid, fatty acid and ketone bodies causes the release of insulin, and then insulin utilize all these products to maintain their level. Among of these chemicals, glucose is the principal regulator of the insulin secretion because beta cells have glucose sensitizing mechanism. Second one is hormonal regulation. Growth hormone, corticosteroids, thyroxine modify insulin release in response to glucose. And in neural regulation, The islets of Langerhans of beta cells of pancreatic cells are richly supplied by sympathetic and vagal nerve. Alpha-2 receptor activation decreases release by inhibiting beta cell adenylyl cyclase enzyme, but beta-2 stimulation increases release of insulin by stimulating beta cell adenylyl cyclase. Try to remember, alpha-2 receptor activation decreases the release of insulin, but beta-2 stimulation increases the release of insulin because alpha-2 receptors inhibits adenylyl cyclase and beta-2 stimulation stimulates adenylyl cyclase. Cholinergic and vagal nerve stimulation also causes insulin release. Mechanism of action of insulin. Insulin acts through its receptor, which is known as insulin receptor, which has two subunits alpha and beta. After connecting with the receptor, the complex formed, which is known as insulin receptor complex. This complex initiates a chain of biochemical reactions involving cyclic adenosine monophosphate, protein phosphorylase, protein kinase, phosphatase and lipase. And all of these enzymes are essential in the catabolism and anabolism reactions. So, through these enzymes, insulin controls the process of metabolism or anabolism of various chemicals like carbohydrate, fat, protein, lipid, etc. And desensitization of insulin receptor also leads to diabetic condition that we have seen in type 2 diabetes. Physiological functions of insulin. The most important function of insulin is the utilization of glucose, because glucose is the main source of energy for our body. So, insulin facilitates glucose transport across cell membrane, and skeletal muscles and fats are highly sensitive to this transport process. First step in utilization of glucose is its phosphorylation to form glucose 6-phosphate, and to this phosphorylation the enzyme which is essential is glucokinase, and the production of this enzyme glucokinase is enhanced by insulin. So, conversion of glucose into glucose 6-phosphate is stimulated by insulin, and thus utilization of glucose is done by insulin. Insulin also facilitates amino acid entry and their synthesis into protein. There are three main sites of action for insulin: liver, muscle and adipose tissue. Liver, skeletal muscles and adipose tissue. In liver, insulin increases glucose uptake and glycogen synthesis. Insulin inhibits glycogenolysis and glucose output. Glycogenolysis means breakdown of glycogen. It also inhibits gluconeogenesis from protein, pyruvate, free fatty acid and glycerol. Gluconeogenesis means production of glucose. Means insulin increases glucose uptake and glycogen synthesis and inhibits production of glucose and breakdown or metabolism of glycogen. In muscle also it increases glucose uptake and its utilization, but it inhibits proteolysis, means the metabolism of protein, and so inhibits release of amino acid, pyruvate and lactate into blood, which are the substrates for gluconeogenesis, and thus insulin inhibits the process of gluconeogenesis, means production of glucose from protein, pyruvate, free fatty acid or glycerol. In adipose tissue also, insulin increases glucose uptake and storage as fat and glycogen, but it inhibits lipolysis, means breakdown of lipid, and also inhibits release of free fatty acid and glycerol, which are also the substrate for gluconeogenesis in liver. Thus, insulin increases the glucose uptake and or utilization of glucose, but inhibits glucose synthesis by one or another way. And most of these metabolic actions of insulin are exerted within seconds or minutes, so they are also known as rapid actions. But slow actions of insulin includes DNA mediated synthesis of glucose transporter and some enzymes of amino acid metabolism, which takes few hours. Other than these actions, insulin has also major long-term action on multiplication and differentiation of cells. So, this was all about insulin, and in next lecture we will discuss about insulin preparations which are used as an anti-diabetic agent. Thank you.